What's up, guys? How are you doing? Hope everyone's having a great day. Thought I'd go live here for a little bit. Saw this article. Thought I'd want to get some input on it. Give people a chance to come in. What's up, Hope? Hey, Aaron. How are you guys doing today? There's a link for the panel if anyone wants to come up. So yeah, I saw this article in my feed. We're about to push for a 20th Amendment. I totally agree with it. I just wanted to do a quick little show to talk about it a little bit, and maybe have a discussion about it because I think it's something that maybe some people would like, and maybe it's something that people would want. Yeah, it's they're trying to push for a 28th Amendment, extortion watchers. The 20th Amendment, if it would be done, would be it would put a curtail on corporate funds going into campaigns, and it would curtail and it would put a limit on funds that could be spended during a uh, campaign. So I think it would make it fair, and it would stop companies from special interest groups. It would put a stop to a lot of special interest groups, which I think would be is totally needed. Because there's too much special interest stuff going on. They're really out there, and they're really taking over the elections, and I think that is an amendment that should have been added. But then again, I don't think our founding fathers really could have known that, big business would influence the elections as much as they have, when they did first drafted the Constitution, or I'm sure they would have put something in there that would have put a stop to that. Nice. Yeah, it's pretty hot here too. So what do you guys think? You think that's a good idea to curtail some of the big business from getting involved in campaigns and to limit the amount that the campaigns can spend? I think that's a great idea. I think it's an overdue idea. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, it's exactly extortion watchers. It's just it's something that needed to be done. In fact, I think also that maybe they could add to it and like make term limits. I think term limits are something that should have been done too, uh, especially when you see things are going on with the coronavirus relief packaging. I mean, what Friday they couldn't come to terms. It's like, do you want to help America or do you not want to help America? People are not working. They need this money. And you guys are freaking worried about the commas and the periods and all this and trying to make it so perfect. And it's like, dude, just get the shit out there. People need it. They could really use this. But no, no, no. People like Pelosi, people like Schumer, all these people that are lifetime politicians. We need some new blood in there. What's up, Bill? It's about time we get new blood in there. It's just bullshit. It's tired of it. It's like I was looking at the uh, the last thing for the second stimulus check. I'm like, dude, like they're okay. See, they come to terms with okay, Americans need the money, but they're stuck on helping businesses out, helping out mom and pop organizations that aren't able to open up like Walmart is able to open up, or Target or whatever. The ones that are still closed right now, they need help too. Or you want those businesses to just shrivel up and go away. It's not fair to them. They didn't expect this coronavirus bullcrap, just like Americans didn't expect. So I think there should be some sort of compensation for the businesses that can open up as well. It's just stinking. What's up, Greg? It's just ridiculous, man. It's like now I think I heard something that it might not, they might actually not have anything done until September. It's like, really? It's going to take you guys that long to come to an agreement? If people are messed up, and it would be different if they didn't have any money, if their paycheck suddenly shriveled up, then it wouldn't be an issue. And here's another thing: if most Americans aren't paying taxes, where the fuck is where's their income coming from? Where's their income if taxes are being if people are getting holds on taxes? They shouldn't be getting income either. They should be suffering just like us, and then they'd be singing a completely different tune. But no, no, no. They're not worried about it because they get to go home to their big ass house, big ass apartment, eat their filet mignon, have their waiter bring it to them, maybe even put a bib on them, and then come back and say, "Well, maybe we'll be able to get our way this next time because we're not budgeting until we get our way." What about the people? What happened to the people that you know uh, elected you? Do they matter anymore to you guys? No, no, because they're career politicians now. Brian, a tax expert that reports on the stimulus package every day and what the politicians are doing, says Republicans and Democrats are playing games. Yeah, exactly. They're playing games in a time where they don't need to be playing games. They should come together and say, "Look, America really needs this right now. Let's put all the bullshit aside and just get this shit done." It's real simple, or at least you'd think it would be real simple. But apparently, it's not because nothing is so simple when politics are involved. It's just ridiculous. So I think this if the 28th Amendment were to be ratified and passed, I think it would definitely put a stop because then big business wouldn't have their way because big businesses uh, has something to say with this. Or well, I don't know if we want to give people money, sort of thing, and uh, if if they're able to put a stop to that, then maybe they'll start worrying about what the people want to get. Exactly, Greg. They definitely forget that they serve us. They right now they're too worried about serving who their donors, who gives them the money. And again, perfect example of why this 28th Amendment needs to pass. And then they need to pass something for term limits. I mean, seriously, ground these fucks. There's no reason what when I'm a kid, this chick's in office, and I'm now until today in 2020, she's still in office. No, 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 no. She should have been done. Should have been way done. She's way too powerful, way too greedy. She thinks she has it on lock, and I think it's about time she realizes that no, no, bitch, no. You serve us. It's not the other way around. The 28th Amendment is it's a top. They're just talking about it. What they want to do is they want to curtail corporate spending in a election, and they also want to also curtail what can be spent in a campaign, kind of limit the amount that can be spent in a campaign. So it'll make it a more fair race. So like some of the smaller parties might actually have a chance to win because everyone is they're not able to spend every little penny that they have. They can only spend so much, and people are fighting that. Yes, term limits totally. This means a lot of working people don't get a S check. If you already get a check once a month from the government, they get the check. Yeah, yeah, for real. Well, what do you got? Do you guys agree that since there's so many Americans right now that are not paying taxes, that maybe some of these government congressmen and the House representatives, maybe they should take a pay cut until all that shit goes back? Do you think they'll be singing a different tune if they had to take a pay cut? I bet you they'd be singing a real different tune. They'd want to get America back on track faster so they can start getting paid again. They're not worried about it until it affects them, which is a really good case example of that would be in Seattle during the riots. She was all good. The governor, the mayor, I'm sorry, yeah, the mayor. She was all, oh yeah, this is love and everything. But as soon as they start coming to her house, then she changed her tune. Okay, they need to stop right now. What's up, Tim? I think term limits should be only 2 years. Yeah. Um, I think maybe more, like maybe 8 years total for senators and 4 years for representatives. 'Cause I think 2 terms would be enough for senators. She's kind of like the president, the presidential and 4 terms, 4 years for representatives and 8 years for senators. I think that would be all right. But none of this 20, 50 years and shit like Biden or Pelosi or whatever. That's just ridiculous. There's no reason anyone should be in office that long. And there's still people that are still waiting on their 33 turns for reps and 2 for Senate. 33 turns. Damn, that's a lot. Why would you say 33 turns for reps, Randy? Oh, three. Okay, gotcha. 3 terms. Fair enough. Okay. Okay, so 3 years, so 6 years total for senators and 8 years for Senate. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad, actually. That's not bad. I could live with that. I could totally live with that. I was just working out in the heat and I got the notification Kitty was on. So you're pulling what Glitterbug did the other day. She still got the notification when she was in a tanning bed. Yeah, 3 terms wouldn't be so bad. I was thinking 2, but 3 wouldn't be so bad. 6 years, that's not so bad. Because I just feel with 1 term or 1 term for a senator, 2 years, there's not a lot they can accomplish in 2 years. 4 years, it gives them a little bit, but yeah, 6 years, they might be able to get something accomplished in 6 years. Because a lot of 1 term presidents and the senators that came to 8 years, 2 terms, because a lot of presidents don't get a whole lot done when if they're only a 1 term president. So unless it would be Trump, man. If he was only a 1 term president, which he's not going to be, but he would have got a lot done in his first 4 years, unlike a lot of other presidents. Um, but yeah, I think 2 terms for senator. There's no need for more, you know. But if you notice, a lot of times, a lot of these senators from Podunk City, Iowa, or whatever, no one runs against them in certain districts. It's like sometimes they run unopposed, which is why they become such long-term senators or long-term representatives because no one runs against them. What's up, Cheryl? The justices have a lifetime appointment. Yeah, they do, and that's a problem. Yeah, 8-year terms would be interesting. No, no. See, I think it should keep. I should think that they should definitely do um, 4-year terms, but they can do 2 terms, right? Because I think if they just did one 8-year term during that 8 years, they could easily say, well, I'm already elected, so I can just do whatever I want, sort of thing. But if you keep it at 8 years, but 2 terms, they're going to have to rerun in the middle of their 4 years. So they're going to still, at least in theory, think about the people. You know what I mean? Especially if the 28th Amendment were to pass, then they wouldn't have to, then we could, put a curtail on big business having any kind of say in what they're doing. Um, they would have to start relying on the people and want doing what the people want. So I think that would be good to have that little breakup in there, especially with the 20th Amendment in. What up, Noli? What's up, Aaron? Um, yeah, but just yeah, I think the 20th Amendment is something that at least the idea of it has been around for a long time, and the fact that they're actually trying to talk about that. Not only that, but they're actually talking about term limits too, which is really cool. Yeah, exactly, Cheryl. Yeah, like term limits is something that's been talked about, but nobody wants to get behind it. But then I have heard like there's actually Republicans that are behind term limits. It seems to be it's a lot of Democrats that are against term limits, which I thought was interesting. And if you would have asked me before I heard about that, I would say, oh no, it's Republicans that are going to want it. But to think that some Republicans are actually for it, but it's most Democrats that are against it, it's like, geez, okay, that kind of tells you, at least to me, it tells me how far off the Democratic Party is from the beaten path that they originally set forth upon themselves. What's up, Greg?
Hey,
How's it going?
yeah,
This right here,
they,
guys, is the newest squirrel auditor. You guys should have checked out the stream the other night. He went on his very first squirrel audit. He didn't find any, but he gave it his best effort. You guys
uh,
should check it out.
well, they were out this morning, and it's too hot now for them to come out. So, but anyways, like I said before, this is on no audit or bullshit, but these politicians truly work for us. But they forget that we give them their job, while the middle class and then my class, the lower class are living like I don't know, like broke. But they don't care. They're just happy, in their BMWs and all that, and
Oh,
it makes
absolutely.
me sick.
Yeah, me too.
And
It's ridiculous. It's like during this COVID time, they're still out there making money, which is why they're stalling. Because they're stalling for the best possible deal for their donors, their sponsors. They're not for the people. They're not thinking about the people anymore. They're thinking about their donors and sponsors because they're the ones that are paying their checks. If we take a pay cut, fuck yeah, they should take a pay cut. Do you agree with that?
oh yeah,
Should they be getting paid? Should they be getting paid during the coronavirus right now? Give me a one if you guys give me a one if you think they should be getting paid during coronavirus, or a two that they should also take a pay cut with all of Americans to kind of so they kind of see where we're at. What do you guys think? All right, Greg, go ahead. What do you think about that while they're doing all that?
I think they should suffer just like the rest of us. They're Americans. There should be no special treatment on financial class, political class, or any of that. That's what I
Absolutely,
think.
absolutely. And Cheryl also agrees with it and says there should be a cap on their pay. Oh yeah, there should definitely be a cap on their pay. Which is why I think this 28th Amendment is so important because it stops big business from lining their pockets. It's so sad that we have to have an amendment to do this. You know what I mean? It's like shouldn't they be should they be worried about big business or should they be worried about the people that elect them? Because the only time they really care about what we think is during what? Election time. When they need to be reelected, then all of a sudden they're like, oh, well, now I care, and this is what I think about this now. But as soon as the election is done, it's right back to worried about what their donors are thinking, what their donors want, which is ridiculous.
Mhm.
It's just
And they
stupid.
care about the people that dump millions of dollars in their campaign. You know,
Yeah,
it just personally makes me sick. It should be, you know, I think from what I saw, the writers of the Constitution was just like, how do I explain this? That should be a fair person of the people for the people, because these people, each and every one of these people, from the House, from the Senate to the president to the judicial, they represent us
mhm. Yeah,
in
agreed. Well, they should
everything.
represent. They should represent us. They don't always represent us.
No, that's what I'm saying. They should.
Definitely. They spend a lot of time on their phone begging for donations. Absolutely, especially during election time. That's all they do. Yeah, exactly. BLM matters every election cycle. This is absolutely true, Tim. That's the only time they're really worried about stuff like that. Yeah,
Oh
see,
yeah.
well, that's actually not necessarily true, Randy. Some of them do, but a lot of them come in, they're already lawyers, they're already successful business people a lot of times. There are those that do come in kind of poorish and then go out rich, but a lot of them are actually already lawyers and shit, so they're making decent money. Uh, that's another thing I want to point out. Like there aren't too many. Like here's the one thing I didn't mind about. All right, so I know a lot of people don't like Ocasio Cortez, right? But she is the epitome of what our founding fathers wanted for our Congress. She's just an everyday person. She didn't come from money. She pulled herself up by the bootstraps and she ran and she won, right? Now maybe you don't agree with what she stands for. I don't, for sure. But I
I
do agree with the concept of, you know, of how she got in. She ran off the everyday person type thing, and she made it. And now she's successful and she's doing stuff. I don't agree with her politics, whatever, because I think the big green, the big green plan or whatever she had, that was just stupid. A lot of her crap is really stupid. But I do like her story. I think her story would happen a lot more, and we get rid of a lot of these lawyers in our government.
see. I disagree with that. I respect her because I'm not gonna lie. I'm a Democrat. I lean to the left, but
Okay.
I agree with her. But one thing is, I hate Joe Biden.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not a Biden fan
So it's
either.
like part of me is like he's too old. Like where is he gonna be in like 4 years? And another thing is he's just a whack job. I think.
All right, so Noli she looked it up. She said, after winning the majority, a Republican congressman brought a constitutional amendment to the House floor that proposed limiting members of the Senate to 2 6-year terms and members of the House to six 2 year terms. Three other term limit amendments bills failed to get more than 200 votes. Oh, that's interesting. So yeah, that's a totally different amendment than what I was talking about, the 20th Amendment. But that's cool. Yeah, I did. I remember hearing about the term limit. And I just really thought it was interesting that a Republican actually brought it to the table. That was kind of cool.
I
I'm
haven't
not a
heard of
Republican.
that.
I'm not a Democrat. Yeah, I saw it. I have like Google email alerts. Like I put in certain ones. I'll put in like First Amendment audit, First Amendment, Second Amendment, U.S. Constitution, U.S. Congress, and any kind of story that has that type of thing. They send it to me and I go through them. That's actually how I come up with a lot of the ideas for my panels, and I'll just go through those and pick one that's interesting. Which is how I found this one. But yeah, I talked about this a little while ago about the term limits, and I think it's essential. It's something that definitely needs to happen. It should have been happened. A
Yeah.
Sith is a Democrat. Say it ain't so, Darth.
Well,
Exactly,
this
Cheryl.
is a
If you vote for
special kind of
Biden,
Sith.
oh, You're actually voting for his running mate. That is true because I guarantee you, if Biden does win, and I highly doubt he's going to win, he's going to be declared unfit for sure. It's going to be
Mhm.
too easy to declare him unfit, and then it'll be his running mate, which I'm not even sure. Has he announced his running mate yet?
I have no idea.
I don't think he has yet.
Like the
But I
person
think they're
personally
talking.
I wanted to win was Bernie
Who
Sanders from my point of view.
really? You like Bernie?
Yeah. Yes.
I didn't like Bernie. To me, Bernie was too much of a socialist. I didn't like Bernie.
Mm.
I don't agree with the whole socialist Democrat thing going on. That seems to be the big, and most of the candidates were some form of socialist, which is what really turned me away from the Democrats this time around. There was one, Weld. I liked Weld. Weld, um, no, not Weld. I'm sorry. It was I can't remember. He didn't make it. He was a non-factor, but I liked him because he was more of a grassroots Democrats. Like, okay, this guy is someone I could get behind, but he had no chance in hell because all the other people were talking way over him, and everyone was all into this. Oh my God, we want socialism now, and all this crap. And it's like you guys do realize, yes, it sounds great on paper, but in practice, it never works. Never. Not one. Name one time where socialism has been a benefit to the government. Can you?
In Denmark, I believe, like in those
There.
areas, they have a democratic socialist government, and it seems to me from what I heard that it works, but you know,
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Maybe the Democrat socialism will work in certain climates, certain certain places, but I don't think it will work here, man. We've got I don't know too much of a me attitude here in the U.S. Denmark's not really about that, you know.
mhm. Yes, Noli, Hillary is a bad word. Oops.
Hillary is a bad word.
We should start a swear jar for
Oh,
the H
so that's where
word.
drawer. Every time you hear the word Hillary, you got to take a shot. That's the new rule.
Well, I don't have tequila with me, so
It doesn't have to be tequila.
I got coffee.
See, Tim says right there, whoever is a leader benefits from socialism. That's it. For the most part, yeah, the government definitely. It will just make them super richer. Do we really want? Do they really need to be super richer? We're just complaining about how they're making money when we're not making money. In socialism, they would make money, and it would also it would kill all of our mom and pop businesses because they'd go and social, they'd redistribute the wealth. So Walmart, of course, would they take a cut, but I think no one cares if Walmart takes a cut. But what about mom and pop businesses out there that are making, they're just getting by, but they are making more money, so therefore they would be susceptible to the redistribution of wealth. And don't you think also it would get a lot more people who don't want to work to give them incentive not to work since they're just going to redistribute the wealth anyway?
That's true, yeah.
I mean, I think it would just make a bad situation worse, in
Yeah,
my opinion.
that's true.
Yes, Randy thinks you should really research the Democrat socialism. Because yeah, I mean, it's a big thing. I mean, it's not just it's there's a lot to it, and if you do research both sides, research the pros and cons, and then just come to your decision if whether you want to, if you believe it or you don't. I mean, no one expects you to take their word for it. I don't expect you to take my word for it. Nobody in the chat expects you to take their word for it, except maybe Tim. Tim might expect you to take his word for it, but you don't got to worry about Tim. Yeah, but yeah, just do your own research and come to your own understanding because I mean, nobody knows what you want or like better than you. So you're the only one that can really know what you like.
Yeah, exactly.
I can
I
see
agree.
a day. I can see a day where I could have to get a pizza from the DMV. Oh, geez.
You know what, Tim? If I run for president, I will make sure every DMV gets a pizza to you for free.
Yeah. Kenny, with today's pandemic, the mom and pop store will be almost a thing of the past, I'm afraid. I think you're right, because especially with the way uh, everything's going on. I mean, it's interesting. Trump is all about the mom and pop restaurants, right? I mean, he's all
Yeah,
about big business and making sure that. But the it's funny that they can't come to terms. Like the Democrats actually want to help small businesses, right, with some of this bailout money, but the Republicans are against helping them. That's a little weird, don't you think? Doesn't that seem backwards?
it should be, but you know what? I agree on helping the mom and pop business because there's people that's been possibly running that spot for generations, years, you know?
Agreed.
And why
No, no,
should
no.
they suffer just,
I,
you know, if
I,
Walmart comes in or whatever?
no, no. I totally agree with you. But I was talking about how it's interesting that Trump is all for helping small business, right? But then
Yeah.
when the Republicans go to the table against the Democrats, it's the Democrats that are trying to fight for small business, while the Republicans are saying no, 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 let's not give them too much money, sort of thing. I just think that's interesting.
Hmm. Yeah, me
Yeah,
too,
it's really
but
weird. It's
yeah.
really weird. It's like the Democrats are saying, okay, we want to help them out. They both agreed that to give us another stimulus package. That's not where the disagreement is. The disagreement is on uh, the the money for the businesses and also to extend the unemployment rates, which Trump already did over the weekend with his executive order. So that's like a null and void thing. It's already happened. So now I'm hoping when they come to the table today, it's like, all right, well, that's already gone, so we don't got to worry about that. How about we just worry about getting these people some cash, huh? Huh? You know, I'm hoping that's what happens.
Hmm. But I still think that, you know, politicians should, you know, focus on helping the lower class out. You know, helping people out in poor neighborhoods, you know, impoverished areas. Because I know what it was like living in those areas. And let me tell you, it's hard. Like there was times when I was a little kid and I couldn't play outside at night because there'll be people out there shooting, or
Mm.
even on holidays or everything, people literally be shooting assault rifles in the air.
Oh wow.
So it's like I don't know. I have a different view of everything just from growing up the way I did. So
Mm. Well, it's the stimulus isn't up for debate, actually, Randy. They both agreed that we need to give them money. I think I think maybe the Republicans want it to like a just 1,000, um, and the Democrats want I think 1,200 for everyone. But I think the issue isn't. I think they're okay with another 1,200. Both parties, I think, can agree on another 1,200. I think I saw another bill that the Democrats are trying to put up that they want to get 2,000 every month for for as long as the pandemic lasts and 3 months after it's declared okay, which a lot of people think it's not going to happen. No one's That's just not going to become a law. No one's going to agree upon that. Because I mean, come on, that would put a huge strain on the economy. I mean, it would help the economy, but it would, man, the debt would just get huge, and they'd just be printing money. Especially now with we're not on the gold standard. I'm afraid if they did something like that, we'd be dangerously close to becoming Mexico with the peso, the dollar just losing more and more value than it already has. I mean, already the dollar is already not worth a dollar in a lot of marketplaces. That would
mm,
just make it even worse, in my opinion.
yeah,
But it would be kind of cool. I wouldn't mind getting 2,000 a month every month for a
me
while. But
too.
at the same time, I don't think it would be. It's not the best idea at all. Yeah,
I
it's
think it'll.
yeah,
I was
Randy.
gonna
It's
say I
definitely.
think it'd be good.
You think it'll be good? Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think it'll be good for the economy in the short run, but I think in the long run, it would hurt us too much, in
Mm.
my opinion. Now, I haven't like done any huge research on it to see exactly where they're, because if you think about it, all the funds that they're doing, they're just printing money to pay for all this. That's what the treasury is doing. They're pretty much just printing money to give you all this, and uh, it's just. And then now they're doing the debit cards, right? So now they don't even have to print money. It's just you know money that's being just just keep adding it up, sort of thing. It's not actual physical money that they're putting out there,
Yeah.
which I think could be. I don't know. I think that could be a problem because you can lose track of things, and we're all human. People make mistakes. It'd be interesting to see what happens, if it'll happen. Like I said, I was seeing some talks that it might not happen until September because they're just so far behind. They just will not come to any kind of session, any kind of agreement, which they need to come to. Maybe someone should like find a genie, rub it, make a wish, and say, get them to fucking come together on something for once. I think if people started doing what they did with the George Floyd, just start rioting, not rioting, I'm sorry, but um, go out there and start
Protesting.
saying, you guys need to get this together, it would get them to do it because they realize, okay, our constituents are not happy. It's near election time. Maybe we should get this through so we can, get reelected, sort of thing. I think that if we pushed it, we could get it. We can get them to actually do something and do it quickly. Because when government wants to, government could work super fast. It's just when does government want to work super fast for us?
Yeah.
Yes. So Yuri says, yeah, some humans can't. I mean, if hunting and fishing were year round and didn't require and tax and crap, then they could. Don't pay people to stay
No, what
home and
pisses me
create
off.
YouTube channels. Go ahead. Go ahead, Greg.
No, I'm saying like I've seen pictures and everything of Donald Trump playing golf while there's a pandemic and all this uncertain bullshit happening in this country. He's out there playing golf.
Who?
Donald Trump. He's out there on his
Yeah,
golf
true.
courses and everything.
True, true, but I mean, come on, that's what presidents do. When Hurricane Katrina was going on, what was Bush doing? Playing golf. That's
Yeah.
what they do. A lot of presidents play golf. They're not around for a lot of the things. I mean, Clinton, same thing. Clinton was out. Uh, Clinton was doing stuff when other stuff was going on. I mean, this is just something that as a president, that's what they do. They hear about stuff, and then their agents tell them, well, it's not that bad yet, sort of thing. They listen to them. And, their advisors. Uh,
Mm.
it's
Well, I
one of
don't
those
know what
things like,
Clinton did. I didn't know what Clinton did because I was too young at the time,
oh, okay.
and I had kid stuff. So yeah.
Could you imagine me out there in my wheelchair trying to kill a deer, get to it, gut it, and clean it, and get it home? No, only that would be good. I'd like to see that because I think you could do it. I think you could do it all. You'll be out there in your wheelchair. You'll be hopping tree trunks and just being like just hanging, going like Tarzan, like through the trees and shit. No, like don't play. No, you are just like probably a gymnast when it comes to that wheelchair.
Oh, Noli, I might have to come and audit you if you're going to
They
be
all
swinging through trees like Tarzan.
a lot of politicians do belong to Gitmo. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
The worst was Obama. Yeah, Obama
Oh,
was pretty bad.
I liked Obama.
Hover chair. Yeah, there you go, Tim. She's got a hover chair.
Yes.
Oh, of course. No, no, you still are savage status. Don't play. Don't play. You still are savage. I'll help you,
Oh,
Noli. You're sharing my wallet, and we will get her done. There we
nice.
go. If you guys didn't have already, please make sure you guys. I have a new Discord. Started it over, so if you guys haven't joined it, go ahead and join it. Should be a lot of fun. So it's a video I posted last night. So the link is in the uh comment section. So just look in the comment section, you'll get the link there, and we'll get it done. All right. So yeah. So Noli, what do you think about that? Do you think that yeah, Noli, have you heard about the 28th Amendment, where how they want to curtail big business spending and um put a limit on campaign funds? They're trying to get that passed. And if so, what do you think about it? What's up, Cobra? Cobra. I like that name. Mainly because it reminds me of my adolescent days with G.I. Joe. You're too young for G.I. Joe, aren't you, Greg? You don't remember G.I.
Oh
Joe, do
yeah.
you? You remember G.I. Joe? Okay.
was it,
Sergeant Slaughter?
wasn't that in the 80s?
Yes. G.I. Joe in the 80s, for sure.
See, I'm off by 1 year. I was born in 1990.
That's more than 1 year. It was like I think it was
Yeah.
like early 80s, too. No. No, it was like in the late 80s, because I remember I was watching, because that was my first, I saw Sergeant Slaughter on G.I. Joe, but then I'd also be seeing him on wrestling. So I was like, oh shit, look, Sergeant Slaughter's on both shows. That's so cool. What's up, Jimmy? Yeah, Noli, I'm with you on that one. I totally agree with it. Yeah, that's when I saw it. I saw it last night too. Like I was like, holy crap, this is a good idea. This has been something like I've been talking about for a while, thinking it needs to be done. Along with the term limits, if they can get those things done. Now, it's not necessarily because big business will probably find a way around it to still get their money to candidates without anyone knowing. Of course they'll find a way, but I think at least it won't be done as much in the open anymore, and the politicians will have to be a lot more slicker with what they do and how they do it. You know what I mean? Not saying that it'll
Mm,
completely stop it, but it would definitely make it harder for them.
yeah.
Jimmy, Jimmy, the 28th Amendment, it's a proposed amendment that would limit campaign funds, campaign spending, and also it would curtail big business from financing corporate campaign financing campaigns. So it's actually a really good thing for us if it ever gets through.
What's up, Jenny? Jimmy, my guy.
What's up, Jimmy? What up, Comfort?
Hey, Comfort. Now,
Because we have
has the 28th Amendment always been there?
no. This not it's not there yet. They're trying to get it passed. They're trying to get it into the Constitution.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the last amendment was the 27th.
Okay.
So yeah,
It's
they're
been a
they're
long
trying to
time
get
since
this.
civics class.
Yeah, I don't remember when was the 27th Amendment done. Was it in the 60s? I think it's the 60s, right? 27th Amendment was in the 60s. What up, Joe? You want to come on panel and join us for a little bit? We're talking about the potential for the 28th Amendment, which would be good. At least most of the people in chat here think so. But you might think differently, Joe. And if you do, that's okay. You're more than welcome to say why you don't agree.
Hmm.
I like to get someone who doesn't agree with it. I like to see the argument behind it. Because
Yeah,
maybe
me too.
they thought of something, maybe they thought of something that we haven't thought about that could backfire. I mean, who knows?
But if they do add it, how are they going to write it with no loopholes?
Yeah, see, that's
That's
the
the
thing.
problem when it comes to big businesses and everything. They're
And lawyers, let's not forget, and lawyers.
lawyers, yeah. I bet you there's probably going to have some crazy loophole in the 28th if they pass it.
True, true, there could be. Small dollar
See,
is nothing more than $20 a month from any one person compared to the billions one entity gives others to buy their vote. Please, you are mad at the wrong congressman. Wait. What do you mean, Noli? I mean, yeah, I mean, I agree. The billions that big businesses give, that's what the 20th Amendment is going to curtail. Well, at least in theory. Now, how it goes in practice, again, I'm always trying to look at that. In theory, something's a good idea, but it's usually it never works out the way it's planned out. No plan ever works out the way you want it to. There's always anomalies. There's always things that you didn't think of that will come into effect. The
Mm.
human factor, for instance, the human factor is always something because you never know because everyone's different. You can't guarantee someone's going to react a certain way. You especially learn that when you start to play chess. You want them to go a certain way, but they don't always go that way because you can't make them unless you force their hand and they can't move any other way. But I mean, that's hard to do sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, then Joe says, well, if you think about it, law really is just one big loophole. That's why they have lawyers. That's why they have a court. If there were no loopholes, court wouldn't exist. It would be black and white. This is true. This is absolutely true, Joe. So more than likely they'd find a way to get past it. They would, and that's sad. But of course, big business would do it. I mean, they'd find a way to get around it because they're going to want to get their point across. They want to make as much money as they can, and so they're going to find that loophole. And what they'll end up doing is what maybe try and pay off the people that are writing the 28th Amendment. Say, well, make it sound like this, and they put all this legalese in it, and the everyday person like me or you or Noli or Joe or whoever, we look at it and we're like, well, that's a lot of legalese in there. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't exactly, unless you're sitting there with a law dictionary, you're not going to understand exactly what they're saying.
Yeah, they should write it in a way that everybody can understand it
Yeah, that would be cool. That
instead of,
would,
US code 1020 whatever, or throw in big words with legal terms where nobody understands except for lawyers.
all right. So Noli was responding to this Tim Berry. Most of AOC's campaign funds now come from people outside of her district and her state. What the fuck is up with that? Ooh, I didn't know about that. But that makes sense, honestly. I mean, because she's a congresswoman now. Oh no, she's not a congresswoman. I take that back. She's Congress. She's she's just like any of the other people. Her money comes from big business. Her money comes from the people that she was against when she first started, but now they're giving her money. And watch, I bet you in the longer she stays in office, the more the more she will stop being for the people. It happens all the time. People who come into the office that are all like, "Oh, I'm for the people. I'm going to change this system. We're going to get this done, guys. Who's with me? Who's with me?" And they get in there and they realize they can't get it done by themselves, so they conform.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what's going to happen with her. I think it might take longer with her, but I think eventually she will conform. And look, she's already conforming by taking money from people that aren't even in her district. Well, why would you take money from people who aren't in your district? I mean, if you do, fine, take money from them, but they should have no say in your district because they don't live in your
Yeah.
fucking district. Take their money and say, thank you for your money. Now sit down and shut the fuck up because you have nothing to do with my district, sort of thing. You know what I mean? But that won't happen because they'll take it, they'll give the money, but they're expecting some sort of they're expecting her ear, and she'll give it to them because she's like, well, they did give me money. You know what I mean? And it could totally influence her depending on what they say. So it's pretty. That's a great example, Noli, of that was a great example right there.
Well, I don't think it
Uh,
should be about, the money. It should be helping out their people in their each and respected districts.
well, yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that they shouldn't take any money from anyone that is in their district just to, just so I think it'll make it easier because, I'm sorry, if someone gives me money, I'm going to at least listen to them. You know what I mean? Because it's a polite thing to do. If you're a polite person, when someone, you don't just say, thank you for your money. Now sit down and shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear from you. Usually it's like, okay, great. They give you money. Now, hi, how are you? Have a conversation with them. Like, yeah, okay, that's great. I see what you're saying there. And that could totally influence her and it has nothing, and it only benefits them outside of the district, not the people who are living in that district. So it's just it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That was great, Gary. They'll consult with Devin to see what it says in Black's Law Dictionary. I like that.
Which one? The 1918 version or another earlier version?
It's isn't it the one they use as anything before like 42 or something like that, right? Any Black's Law Dictionary before 42. Because if they look at the updated version, they'd realize how stupid and wrong they are. They actually fixed it, but they don't
Well,
trust
if
that.
you got these soft sits quoting, oh, automobiles and horse buggies, I mean, come on. Who the hell
Mm-hmm.
uses a horse? But well, Tours and the Amish. But other than that, and last time I checked, there's nothing in the Constitution about travel.
No, no, no. But at one point, there was a right to travel, but this was before the highways. This is before the government started cleaning up the highways and maintaining them. There was this a right to travel that you could go into, but when the government started paying for it, you lost your right to travel because now the government's maintaining the roads, and to keep safety, they regulate it. So we lost our right to travel as soon as the highways and byways showed up, and people asked the government to fix the potholes and make it safer. And the government's like, okay, we're going to make it safer. Well, guess what? To make it safer, this is what we're going to do. We're going to say everyone needs to go have a license. Everybody needs to follow these rules and all that. And people were like, well, wait a minute. We shouldn't do that. We have the right to travel. Well, yeah, you did. But then you asked us to step in. I mean, that's the thing. People don't understand when they ask the government to step in somewhere, the government's going to make all kinds of things to where they to make it safer so they can um, stop the cost on their end. Government's cheap. They're not going to want to pay for everything, which is another reason why I'm not for socialist Medicare, because I think it'll just be all cheap crap because of government, and they'll try and put all these bans on, like, well, guess what? You had too much salt, so now you can't have salt, or we're not going to pay for your crap, sort of thing. I can see the government doing something like that to curtail their spending. Anyway, that's another subject. But yeah, but that's what government does. So they're right. We eventually, at one point, did have a right to travel, but we lost that.
Yeah.
All right. So
I
Joe
mean,
was saying amendments are meant to be a frame for the government. They are not meant to actually change anything. So we have to keep that in mind too. That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point, Joe. Go ahead, Greg. What were you going to say?
oh, I was gonna say you still have the right to travel if you're riding a bike and walking.
If what?
I say you still have the right to travel if you're walking or riding a bike.
But not in the ways like, yeah, but I mean, I think the people are worried about the travel is, the CHPs and the license. A lot of, that's what the issues with the soft citizens are. They feel like they shouldn't have a license. This should be back in the 1900s, early 1800s, when cars were first thought of, and you could just go anywhere from state to state without any kind of license or anything. That's what they were. I think that's more what they're referring to when they're talking about right to travel. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Now it's a privilege. It's more thought of as a privilege than a right. You have to earn it. You know what I mean? And you
Oh
can
yeah,
lose it.
exactly.
You know, and that's their issue with that. Which it is what it is. Oh, we have somebody who wants to join us. What up, extortion watchers?
Hey, Kenny. I just want to
Yes.
say Tulare has gotten away with the right to travel.
Claire's got what?
Hey, Kenny. I just want to
Yeah.
say Tulare has gotten away with the right to
Claire's got what?
travel. Tulare's gotten away with the right to travel before.
Has he?
One second, let
How
me
did he?
get off. It's kind
Okay. Something about Tulare got away with the right to travel. Is that what I heard? That is right. What's up,
I think
Kimber?
so.
Huh. Okay, that's
That's new.
interesting. Yeah, I didn't hear about that. Taylor's actually been in a few lives. Interesting. We didn't lose it. Bozos using cars as traveling batteries, rams, and death machine kind of ruined it for everyone. Yeah, exactly. That's how we lost it. People were being stupid, and so the government had to step in to make everything safe. So yeah, we did lose it, but stupid people lost it for us. Just like most everything, stupid people lose everything for us. You know,
Yeah.
that's why we can't have nice things.
Right? Apparently not.
All right, I'll throw the link again. Anyone else is welcome to come on. Kimmer, if you'd like to come on. Whoever. Taze, if you'd like to come on. Oh, no, Taze is driving, he said. Taze, if you're driving, you sure are in chat. I hope you have a hands-free device, Taze.
Yeah, right. I don't know how it is in any other states, but
There we go.
Let's welcome back.
Okay, so I just wanted to say, yeah, Talaire, I've seen a couple of his videos. He's gotten away with the right to travel with police officers when he's been pulled over and not given his ID.
What are the? Give me an example. Like what happened? What was he pulled over for?
Well, I don't quite remember. I just remember the cops were at his window and he says, "I don't have to provide ID. I have the right to travel." And he kept saying that over and over that he's traveling. And eventually, they walked back to their car and said, "Have a nice day."
Well, maybe okay. Then obviously he didn't. It was just them pulling him over for no reason, apparently. Because if they would have had a reason, it would have went the same way that any other traffic stop would have gone. Don't you think?
Yeah.
So he
I mean, but me
probably
personally, I believe we have the right to travel. I personally believe we have the right to travel. I
yeah.
mean,
Oh yeah.
how
No,
are you
no
going to
ID.
get in
Yeah.
between states?
Oh no. That's the thing. Like no, that you can go in between states, and we do have. See, it's not the right to travel though, because the right mean a right is different from a privilege, right? I think everyone can agree a right is different from a privilege.
Yeah.
We don't have the
yeah,
right anymore because if you had the right, you wouldn't have to get a driver's license, right? Because if it were, you wouldn't have to take a test to get a driver's license. It was a right.
Well,
You understand what I'm
of
saying?
course, I
So yeah,
understand
that's
that.
why we don't have the right to drive. It's a privilege. It's like you have to earn it, sort of thing. You don't have to earn rights. They're God given. They're uh, as soon as you're born, you'd be able to drive if we had the right to travel, right? Um, at least on the open highways. Now you do
Yeah.
have a right to travel. You can walk. You can walk wherever you
mm,
want as long as it's in a designated walking area. So I guess really you don't have the right to walk anywhere either.
Not
There's no right
anywhere.
to travel. No, there's no. It's a privilege, and I can understand that they're upset that we lost that right at some point. But blame your ancestors for driving stupid and then asking the government to fix their shit. That's a problem. And all the people that want to live off the grid, okay, well, great. Well, you can blame all the dinosaurs and the saber-toothed tigers for forcing people to come to live together in a society to stay safe, and that's why we have the society the way we are today. You don't want to pay taxes? Blame your forefathers for being scared of the dinosaurs. Our bad, you know.
yeah,
Hmm.
That's just it. I mean, it's the society we live in. If you don't like it, you don't have to, but you also won't be afforded any of the luxuries of living in that society. You know? Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So yeah. The right to travel is just yeah, it's gone. It's been I saw this article that showed me the year it happened. I think it was in the 40s or the 30s when the government finally took over uh, the keeping of the highways and all that. And that's when everything changed because they were like, well, we're taking it over, so we're going to put in some provisions. And they did. And here we are today. There's the provision. And most people conform with it. They're okay with it. But there are those people that think they're special and they don't
Hmm.
have to. That's where you have your Sotsits, you have your Moors, and they think they can go by, their own rules or what rules that sound good to them. Because hell, come on, more rules? You don't have to pay taxes. You don't have to do this. Come on. If that were real, how many people would jump on that bandwagon, right? I would. I don't want to pay taxes.
Well,
I don't
not
want to do all
to
that shit.
not to down cops or nothing, but it just amazes me how some cops can get DUI and then they're still on the job. I mean, how can you do that if I mean, your license automatically gets suspended if you have a DUI? How do they still be able to work? Is it that to and from work license they get to be able to do that or what?
Well, that would make no sense because if they have, I'm personally of the account. If a cop gets a DUI, they should be let go of the force for real. Just no, they can't be
Yeah.
trusted. They cannot be trusted. I don't think so. At least for the year that they lost their license, they should be, or at least uh, relegate them to straight up desk duty.
Well, I think
Do
it
nothing.
should be like they get in trouble for it, but like that whole 8 months or whatever that they can't have their license, they should not be a cop. And then as soon as they get their license back, if their stuff straight, they can be a cop again. You know what I mean?
But then they have to have some sort of probation period because look, if you get caught with a DUI again, you're fired, sort of thing. Give them
Yeah.
like year or 2 year probation or something like that. Because I'm a firm believer that cops need to be held to a higher standard. I totally agree with that, especially when it comes to stuff like that. I mean, they're breaking they. How can they be trusted to uphold a law that they themselves are breaking? That doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, if they're
Yeah, no, there's a lot of
drinking and everything, and if they got guns in there and toxic, no.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
if they got
Exactly.
DUI, there's no reason in hell they should be out patrolling anywhere. I mean, no, that's just stupid. Just like but then again, it's comes to that qualified immunity thing. It comes into play a lot, and they get away with a lot more than the everyday man can get. Take
Just like
that what we were talking about the Amber Geiger. If anyone else would have went into that spot and shot someone else, I don't care how sorry they were, they would have been fucked.
oh yeah.
She wasn't fucked. She got what? She ended up getting 5 years. Was that it? I think she only got 5 years. And
She
now
acted like
she's
she was getting life too.
and the judge came and hugged her. Hugged her. I couldn't fucking believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Oh, I was living when I heard the judge like, really? You're gonna go and hug her? You better hug every single fucking person that cries in your fucking courtroom then. Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
That was some
Right.
bullshit.
Yeah.
All right, so more sovereign citizens emerged in the 1990s on the East Coast when some people began to merge sovereign citizen ideas with some of the police. Yeah. There's a guy that he was actually part of the Nation of Islam. The guy that founded the Moorish Science Temple was he was one of the people who was when I think it was the Elijah Muhammad when he died. This guy thought he was going to become the head of the Islam. He was passed over and he left and decided to start the Moorish Science Temple.
See, where do
If you
these
didn't know
people
that,
come
now
up
you know.
with the idea that we're ruled by Morocco or ever ruled by Morocco? This fictional empire of Morocco.
Well, it's not a fictional empire. The Moors actually had there actually were the Moors actually did conquer Rome at one point. The Moorish. So I mean, it was an actual empire. It's just they're getting their shit wrong, and then they like to say that they were in Rome before Rome was Rome, which is not true at all. That's just false. No. Rome has been Rome for a long time, so they're wrong on that. There's a lot of things they're wrong on. They take little parts of history, and they like to you know expand it to meet their little freaking beliefs. It's pretty ridiculous. Yeah. Thank you, Kat. Noble Ali. Yes, that's exactly. I believe that's the name of the guy that split from the Nation of Islam. But I do know it began as a, and actually, if you think of it, I was also reading a lot of things that the guy that founded the Moorish Science Temple, a lot of Moors nowadays would actually probably be excommunicated because they're not, because the Noble Ali actually said, hey, you guys need to live by the laws. You guys need to respect the laws of where you're living, right? But do most Moorish individuals do that nowadays?
No.
Not at all. So they should be excommunicated from the Moorish science temple, but they're not. Actually went on their website and saw that he actually, is against a lot of the way practices of these new Moors, so to speak. I'm not sure whether the Bay comes from, Robert. I didn't do that much research into it. Does anyone know where the Bay comes from? Because I sure as hell don't. Oh, I think it has something to do with kind of like it's the same. I think it's the same kind of practice as Nation of Islam when they changed their slave name. It was their slave name, so they replace it with L or like Muhammad Ali did. He changed his name from Cassius Clay to Muhammad Ali. It's the same concept, except I guess they're using Bay, which maybe Bay's Moroccan. I don't know.
I just don't understand them. Everybody has a right to believe what they want to believe, but I just personally don't get how it pertains to the laws of this country when they get pulled over and whatever.
You guys are hearing static?
Yeah, there is some static.
Yeah, I was hearing some static.
Oh, okay. Is it gone?
It comes
Oh,
and
let me
goes.
put
It's
back my
mostly
headphones.
I'm wondering if it's your mic, Kenny. Do you have your phone near your computer or anything?
No, not near my computer. It probably is my mic. Sorry, guys. Am I every?
You're understandable. We can understand you.
Okay, Denise. No, I didn't honestly. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't felt like actually doing a video and editing it over the last few days. So I've been lazy and just been going on live. To be completely honest with you, I actually planned on doing an actual video today, but I woke up and was like, I don't feel like doing all that. I'm just gonna go live again. Um, but no, I'm gonna do more videos. I'm actually gonna stop going live as much. I actually want to only do live like twice a week or something like that. But yeah,
That's
because
all
I have
right.
been lately. But it's been fun. I really liked this time because you guys are all awesome. Seeing what Tays? Bey is just a title of nobility in the Turkish culture. Okay, so there you go. Gary says Bey is a title of nobility. Oh yeah, that makes sense. They all think they're kings and queens too. Remember, so that makes sense that they would change it to Bey. Wait a minute, Turkish, but they're Moroccan. Why do they care about Turkish names? See, even their names don't make any
I'm
goddamn sense. Their
confused.
names aren't even Moroccan. Their name's not even Moroccan. It's
I think they're just
ridiculous.
confused what culture they want to be part of. Either it's Turkish or Moroccan.
Or American. They don't know
Well,
what
they
they
think
want.
they're of. Yeah.
Yeah, they think Moors were the first people here before Native Americans, and then what they a lot of the things they like to do is point at the darker Native Americans and say, see, that was us.
I want to see the
Ridiculous.
proof. I want to see the
They
proof that
never
they were
have
here
proof.
before the Indians.
They never have any proof. There is no proof. They can't prove it. So yeah, what they'll do is they'll just talk over you. They'll try and they'll keep saying words and words to you confused, and then they'll be like, see, your confusion is because you're ignorant.
Yeah.
It's just they talk in circles. It's really ridiculous.
Sounds like First Amendment auditors.
Right? At least some of them for sure. Like
Oh,
Patty or
I saw that video that we were talking about yesterday. That shit pissed me off.
one.
I wish I was on that panel.
Oh yeah, you saw the
On
video
Polly,
with it's yeah.
I saw the whole thing too. Shiva was ripping
Yeah.
that meth head's head off and all that. I wish I could have got on that panel because I would have
Yeah.
went ape shit on all of them. And I don't hold back. I'll cuss
Yeah,
anybody out
absolutely.
who comes at me like that. I commend you for keeping your cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was a bunch of crap. Exactly. A simple DNA
And they were
test would
talking
do it. Of
about
course they won't. Go ahead.
no, I don't know. That just whole thing just pissed me off.
Agreed. It was such a bullcrap. All right, so here we go. So Schreiner says Islamic beliefs are part of the Turkish and North African beliefs, so there will be overlap in conventions from both areas. Well, see, I didn't know that, so thank you for. So I guess it kind of does make sense to know. Okay. All right. So then, let me get the. Well, now is Morocco? Do they have a high Islamic presence in Morocco? Or is Islamic coming from just the break from the Islamic sect when they when uh the Drew guy left? Or does Morocco have a lot of Islamic faith there? I'm not even sure. I don't know much about Morocco. I think they do though.
Hold on, can I go back to what Cheryl wrote? She wrote, "There's an indigenous tribe in Connecticut with slaves escaping the South, integrated with." Are you talking about the Mohegans?
There's an indigenous tribe in Connecticut that the slaves South integrated with, so there's dark. Oh yeah, no, I do know that there are dark skinned indigenous people, Cheryl. I know there are, but I guarantee you they're not all the Moroccan. You know what I mean? Uh,
Yeah,
no, that's not true because some of the slaves could be from Morocco, so there is that. So, but yeah, you can't say that every slave was from Morocco. And the Moroccans were not here before the Indians were here because slaves weren't here before the Indians. So no, this is not
nobody
going to happen.
was.
And I don't think there's any record of the Moroccans crossing the sea into the U.S. at any point. If there was, then they didn't they didn't document it, which is probably the case. I mean, for all we know, there could be people that did show up here, but it's not documented because they didn't document it. Think about it. Hawaiians didn't have a written language or spoken language until we showed up there.
I
So
did
I
not
mean,
know that.
yeah, they did not have a written or spoken language until we showed up there. Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. And also, you got to remember that history is always written by the winners. The
Oh,
losers
of
never
course.
write history. It's always the winners. So you're never going to get the full story on anything because the winners are going to tell it the way they want to tell it. Kind of like Josh. All right, so yeah,
I can
Morocco
see
is an
that.
Islamic nation. Okay, so there we go. Morocco is an Islamic nation. So okay, that fits. That fits. Oh yeah, I know you know they're not from Morocco, Cheryl. So ask them to sing the Moroccan national anthem. I bet you they can't.
Or speak the
Noli, you're taking
language.
off. You're taking off, Noli. All right. Well, it was nice having you. But slaves are not indigenous. This is true. They're not. They were brought here. They're absolutely not indigenous.
No. Unfortunately, they were. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Native Americans came here from Asia via the land bridge. There was no such land bridge from Africa, and they didn't come here in ships and colonize prior to Columbus in 1492. Because yeah, if they would have came here in ships, they wouldn't have just came here and be like, "Oh, hey, look, this is a cool little spot. All right, guys, let's just leave. We'll come back later." Right? They wouldn't have done that. They would have left people there to colonize. Absolutely. So there's more. That's probably the most proof you need that they weren't here before. At least they weren't here before the Spanish, because the Spanish were here for a long time, and then I think the Dutch were here too, right? Yeah, the Dutch showed up uh,
Yeah.
before the Pilgrims.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the British were the last.
Yeah, the British. Yeah, they were the last. Poor British.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like the I can't remember what was it? It was fuck, where the Dutch. The Dutch settlers were. They ended up. It was a lost tribe. It was the wherever the Dutch were. Something happened to where they abandoned their settlement, and a lot of people think that a lot of the Dutch actually went and started living with a lot of the Indians when after whatever happened and forced them to leave. damn, I can't remember. Can anyone remember what settlement the Dutch had? And it was on the East Coast. Roanoke. Thank you, Gary. The Roanoke. Absolutely. Thank you, sir. Man, Gary's on the ball today. He's like all the information. Good God, Gary. You need to start your own little show and just come out with a history. Say, look, fuckers, this is what's up. Y'all motherfuckers are dumb. I'm smart. I'm right. Bam. I'll watch it. I'll totally watch it.
Yeah, right. Me too.
Yeah, Roanoke, absolutely. So yeah, Roanoke. The Dutch were there. They were here before the Pilgrims, and something I don't think no one knows what happened, but something made them abandon their settlement. And a lot of people believe that they didn't just die; they integrated with the native tribe that was around them. A lot of people think the native tribe attacked them, but we really just don't know what happened.
Well, that's probably one of the biggest mysteries in our history. You know, whatever
It's one
happened.
of them, yeah.
Roanoke, whatever
Yeah,
happened
exactly.
to it. You know?
Roanoke.
Roanoke.
Yeah,
okay.
just I mean, it's just interesting to see all the people that came in depending on what tribe they interacted with. Sometimes the tribe was hostile, but a lot of times the Indian tribes that came into with the settlers were actually cool with them. They showed them how to farm. They showed them how to live. I mean, Native Americans were really cool, and then to see what happened to the Native Americans because they didn't get their way, like John Smith. You have all heard of John Smith, right? The Pocahontas and John Smith. That dude was a dick. He was a complete and utter just dick. He did so much crap to the Indians, and he got his way. He was nowhere near what Disney makes him out to be. He was a complete and utter dick.
No.
And
No.
Yeah, he was a complete dick. Yes,
Same with Christopher Columbus.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Cook, for that matter, Cook was bad too. Cook was bad when he reached over to Hawaiian's territory. I'm gonna do a show on Hawaii. I have this guy that knows all kinds of Hawaiian history.
All of them
would you guys like to do a show dedicated to Hawaiian history? You guys, would that be interesting to you guys? Because I know this guy that knows. Man, he could come on and he could tell you guys some crap that will blow your mind about the Hawaiian civilization. Does that sound interesting to you guys? Anyone?
Yeah.
Greg? Yeah.
I'm always down to learn something new. I don't even know much about it. Hawaii. I know it's expensive as hell to get there. That's it.
Cool. Oh yeah, Taco's on.
Yeah, I saw his notification. I guess he's having.
Yeah, he's on one. Yeah, he told me he's gonna be on one. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna end this. I'm gonna go over to Tacos, see if I can get on.
Okay.
Because I told him I would. Alaska has a bunch of different. All right. Alaska has a bunch of different Native American tribes. Most of them don't celebrate Thanksgiving because of their hatred. Yeah, absolutely, Kimber. Oh, it's very expensive to live there. Super expensive. All right, guys. You guys can just go on over to Taco's channel. I'm going to head on over there too. Taco's live. So if you guys want to, yep, he's live. All right, guys. So hope you guys have a great day and see you again next time. Thanks for joining me, guys. Peace.